hard to do today, but I'm really pleased to be here, and I'm glad to be in the Salina Public Library, where apparently they have good air conditioning. It felt pretty good.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm headed from here to the hangar, hangar 29 at the Salina Airport Authority. Their air conditioning is probably less good. But this community has really worked hard for a long period of time to improve its downtown. I think the Salina downtown experience is something that we all can say, wow. Those of us particularly who come to visit and don't live here see the dramatic change. You saw it happen gradually. But throughout all this period of time, there's been a group, I think it started with the Friends of the River, who have twisted my arm now for 20 years to come over to this project, and who have been faithful and attentive to trying to make sure that the Smoky Hill River, which comes from where I come from, with not a lot of water there, and we want more there and we want more here. And at some point in time, years ago, the Corps of the city changed the channeling of the river for flood control. And the Friends of the River and the community decided there would be a better outcome if we were back to where that original river channel was. And so we've worked and looked for ways to be helpful to the community. I don't know how long ago this started. Maybe somebody can tell me or will tell this. But the city of Salina had buy-in. They had the opportunity to vote on a sales tax increase, and originally rejected that idea, and the community came back with another idea, and Salina decided that it was a project that was worthy of them. And when the voters of Salina, the citizens of Salina, the leaders of Salina tell me something might be good for the community, we want to see if there's ways that we can be helpful. I would first make certain that you know that I've not been in Washington so long to think that I'm helping with my money. It is taxpayer money, and we try to make sure that we find opportunities to be supportive of things that the community finds beneficial, but also as a long-term economic benefit, a return on investment. And so I'm here to congratulate the community. Ultimately, what's going to happen here is that the colonel and the mayor are going to sign a document that involves the planning and design and the future of the project, and they will explain that to you. We've been successful recently in two ways. A raised grant for $22 million for this project, and then most recently, which now involves the Corps and the city in moving forward with $400,000 to come up with the Corps' share of the money necessary to plan and design the project. So we're trying to take any opportunity that anybody at the Army Corps of Engineers, never anybody in Kansas City, and never this colonel, but in case somebody at the Corps of Engineers wants to have an excuse for not getting this done, we've now provided their match for what the city of Salina will provide to move this project forward. And I'm just grateful for the people that care about this community so much. And I congratulate you on your potential success, the step by step to get to that outcome. And all those things make a difference in the future of this community. A lot of what I'm about, and I would have told you this when you allowed me to be your congressman and when you've allowed me to be your senator, is how do we make sure that the communities in Kansas have a bright future, and that we have a chance to keep our kids and have a chance to have our grandkids around, and we can bring new people to our communities, and there's just a future for us. And those challenges are significant in towns this size and smaller, and Salina is always doing the things necessary to make sure that its citizens have a quality of life here, and that there's future citizens who will find Salina and Swing County in north central Kansas an appealing place to be. So let me just say thank you and congratulations, and I'm honored to be with you today as we watch this ceremony. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mayor Bill Longline. Today is a significant milestone for the city of Salina and the Smoky Hill River Renewal Project. What began as an idea and a vision over 15 years ago will take a major step forward today in signing of the cost share agreement with the United States Army Corps of Engineers. I was fortunate to grow up in Salina in the 1960s and 70s. when we still had a flowing river, but it was controlled. I heard many stories and saw pictures from the flood of 1951, which was the deciding factor for the Corps of Engineers to provide flood control for the city. During my youth, we enjoyed small boats and fishing on the river. We would marvel at the dates and high water marks on the boat rental dock on the 4th Street Bridge going into Oakdale Park. The Smoky Hill River provided opportunities for activities and recreation for all to enjoy. Thanks to the dedication and persistence of many Salina citizens, we will see a flowing river once again in our city. This has been accomplished through the passage of the River Renewal sales tax in 2016 by the people of Salina, while last year we received a raised grant to fund bridges and trails. More recently, the City Commission committed to funding the bridge project to completion with tremendous support from the people of Salina. The partnership with the United States Corps of Engineers Kansas City District Office has been wonderful as we have explored the possibilities of reestablishing the flow of the river and the entire aquatic ecosystem. Thank you to Colonel Rayfield, the District Commander, for your continued support and belief in the Renewal project. Your support and efforts of the Corps of Engineers are greatly appreciated. We would not have reason to be here today on this hot July day without the steadfast support of our very own Senator Jerry Moran. Last year, Senator Moran was instrumental in securing raised grant funding for the bridge and transportation portion of the river project. Today, Senator Moran brings the people of Salina congressional funding for the Corps of Engineers to begin the process of restoring the flow of water to the Smoky Hill River. As Mayor of Salina, on behalf of the Salina City Commission and the citizens of Salina, I want to say a big thank you to Senator Moran. While it has been a long process to reach this day, it will also be a long process to see the completion of the project with water flowing at the end of the year 2030. Several people who first served on Friends of the River boards and committees have passed on or moved away. Before we see the project completed, others may not be here to see and enjoy it. The people of Salina are not just pursuing this project for themselves. We are doing this for future generations of Salinans, for those who may someday relocate here and children not yet born, who will be able to enjoy a beautiful scenic river and experience a childhood in Salina, much like mine was some 60 years ago. Thank you.
Mr. Moran, Mayor Lovine, thanks for establishing this venue today. Just for those that are in the audience, I had asked, I said, hey, partnering with the Corps can be a long process. I even wrote, thank you for your steadfast leadership. That was not in conjunction with the mayor, but we had the same adjective. It takes some perseverance to partner with us, and it has local stakeholder involvement, both financially and with time and with effort. And so we're coming to market day where that leadership is coming to fruition. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means for me as district commander and what it means for our agency to be here. And then we'll come up and do a signing ceremony with the mayor. So first, for Senator Moran, my tie to this event is I started coming out here in 2003 when I was stationed in Fort Riley. That's my first introduction to Salina. And so it's been visible to me. It's not visible to everyone in the federal government, but it is a little bit of a hidden gem as you transition into western Kansas. And for Mayor Longbine on the side, we were talking about the Land Institute. I'd send college students to the Land Institute to help out with some grant research, and that's helpful to the national security framework. So I had ties both academically when I was not here, in the Kansas City area. And when I say Kansas City, for the Corps of Engineers, the Kansas City area is St. Louis to eastern Colorado, so it's a little bit bigger than what And for Senator Brand and Mayor Levine, I really just want to say thank you for leading your staffs in such a way as to partner well with your Corps. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes with my team and your team to make it a team of teams, and I just want to say thank you for that steadfast leadership. That's my opening piece, and then I want to tell you, what are we actually doing here today? Today we're going to sign a federal cost share agreement between the City of Salina and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Last time I was out here in August of 22. I brought my boss at the time, Brigadier General Van Epps, his deputy commander, Colonel Aaron Dorff, and we went to actually see the physical sites and see what we're talking about as it relates to an investment in the City of Salina on behalf of the federal government. Some things you just have to see to understand, and so that's why we brought out our leadership and walked them through. At that time, we were working through our Continuing Authorities Program, what's called Section 1135, an ecosystem restoration project, which would be ecosystem restoration towards an existing core project. And we hit a hang-up. That specific authority has a substantial and clear dollar threshold. In this case, when we're getting close to the tentatively selected plan, we recognize the total project cost under this authority would exceed the $10 million of federal funding. There's more benefit here for the taxpayers of America than that authority allowed. And so that required us to go and engage through our leadership back to Washington, D.C. to inform our congressional delegation, including Senator Moran's office, that we had potential investment here that exceeds the potential of cap, and that we need to progress under a new authority if it's the right thing to do. And in this case, that's what today's about. Congress exercised the power of the purse under appropriations in this fiscal year to allow us to formally partner with the City of Salina, and we're going to transition from the Continuing Authorities Program to our General Investigations account. So that's a really neat thing. It doesn't happen very often in a timely fashion. And so with this partnership today, we're agreeing to enter into a federal and local cost share agreement to document federal interest in a report for a study that will capture the national ecosystem restoration benefits here in Salina. Practically speaking, we're agreeing to finalize the planning process by the end of calendar year 2025. At the district level, we'll turn in our plan, report, or study into our headquarters, and I would expect the Chief of Engineers to turn into Congress for inclusion in the Water Resource Development Act of 2026, authorization for us to do something a little bit different here in Salina. So if you're living here, what does that mean? This authorization will position us to start implementing solutions that come out of this study or report. And if it's something that looks like construction, that would be in the summer of 28. That assumes we have federal interest turned in by my boss's boss, the chief of the chief's report, and Congress keeps this project in the Water Resource Development Act of 2026. And so this FCSA, Federal Cost Share Agreement, could equate to construction here with the Corps in the City of Salina in the summer of 2028. That's a really exciting time to come back around and see what the fruits of all the staff labor that's going to have as it bears into the waterway. There's some people with some really great visions that some of those will come to fruition. I don't know what they are today. I don't have that part of the plan. We're agreeing to do that plan today. So towards that end, what do you expect of the USACE teammates, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineer teammates I bring with me? So example, I have Jeff in the room with me. So Jeff, can you raise his hand? And Jeff leads the plan formulation for a large portion of the Kansas City portfolio. Laura Totten is our project manager. She'll be leading this specific project. And what you can expect of them is a commitment towards equality expected by the taxpayers of America, to Senator Moran's comment. Collaboration with the local government to ensure what we agree to is actually doable. And lastly, transparent communication along the way. We will have routine communication with the local government officials so they know where we are in the process. We won't wait till the end to come back around. At the end of the day, we need something that's implementable by the local government and something that you'd be not necessarily, I don't have to get to the point of excited about, but I gotta at least make sure it meets your needs. So you can smile about that, because that met our needs and the Corps was transparent with what we could do here. Because the local government can choose to do more than what the Corps wants to do. So we owe them that open communication to have a chance to do even more if they want to. So on behalf of my great teammates in the Kansas City District, we're proud to formalize the next step in our partnership with this FCSA signing today. And as I said at the opening, I'll say at the end, I'd really like to thank Senator Moran and the mayor for their steadfast leadership, using that same adjective to get us to where we are today. I'll need more of that to get towards the end. There are some hurdles to get between here and Ward 26, but their leadership so far has given me confidence to stand here in front of you in a public setting and say I'm excited about where we will be, hopefully in the summer. So with that, sir, I think we can come up and get some. Well, they'll even have somebody come up, sir, I believe, to tell us when to pause, so we can take a picture.
Oh, all right.
I think I have a blue pen. I think as soon as you sign one, I can start signing. Been through 4 of these, so there's a little bit of Jamie that goes on. And I'm going to ask Sam, somewhere out there, you need to pose any which way just to document today. You got my good side?
Yes. I'm sorry. Okay, ready? And 1, 2, and 3, and one more. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect.
Intrude one more moment. The Colonel Travis Brayfield, leaves us in Kansas City as the district commander this week, and he's a award-winning, star-studded member of our military, a 1999 graduate of West Point, and if you would give him a round of applause for his service.